Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but the penny turn red. Can't let that can't play in my head, war gaming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Hobby Homies. We are your weekly tabletop podcast. I'm Shane, hanging out with Fox.
That's me, I'm Fox.
And of course, we've got Churchy.
In the void.
Today, we are talking about we're basically talking about our weekend.
Gameapalooza!
Gameapalooza, a new Hobby Homies tradition.
Yeah.
3 years running.
Which we've basically decided to axe in favor of a HomieCon. But
HomieCon.
Yeah. We want to make it bigger and better.
Bigger and better, like all good things.
Yeah. The bigger, the betterer.
Absolutely. They say that.
Who says that?
Everyone.
Who have you said? Name one person you've heard say that.
Churchy.
Churchy, have you said that?
Said what?
All right, he's not paying attention.
He's
It
too
does
busy
sound like
doing his
something
job.
you would say, yeah. So, Gameapalooza, we get a bunch of homies down.
Yep.
They come to the studio. They play games.
Yep.
Let's talk about how many games do you think we played collectively off the top of our heads?
6.
I think it was more.
You mean individual games?
Nah, like, what do you mean?
like
What are you talking about?
like I'm talking about like we played Chain of Command, and then we played D&D.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
6.
really,
Go on.
all right. Well, let's
Rattle
get
them
through All right, I'll rattle them off. What was the very first thing we played when I got here? Was you guys were playing the little what would you call that?
Boss Monster.
No, but yes. So Boss Monster. What about the bluffing one?
Oh, Love Letter.
Love Letter.
Yep.
We also played.
You've got 3. I've only named 2 games. Hang on. You're holding up 3 fingers.
Yeah, Boss Monster and Munchkin. Boss Monster, Munchkin, Love Letter.
Yep. Chain of Command.
Chain of Command.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. Was that hit?
And then Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Yep. That's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Felt like more. And Dead of Winter.
All right.
Yeah.
You win.
Am I forgetting anything?
Nah, that's probably it. We played so many games. We played so many games multiple times.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you
Yep.
played Love Letter a heap.
Yep. That was game of the weekend, actually.
Yeah.
Because it was over in like 5 minutes. Each
Yeah.
round is like 5 minutes long.
And there are a lot of times where like maybe you finish a game of Chain of Command, dinner's in an hour and a half, not quite enough time to play anything else.
Yeah.
Play a few rounds of Love Letter, go
Yep.
get dinner, that
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing. So the very first day was the main game that we played. Well, I guess the Friday night we did an RPG. That was one of the first things we did.
Yeah. So Ollie got here on Thursday Arvo.
Yeah.
Gritty landed Thursday evening.
Yeah.
Once we collected him from the airport.
Yeah.
Came back here.
Yeah.
What do we do? I can't even remember.
Was I there?
Yeah, you were there.
We just
Dude, you were there.
I think we just hung out.
Yeah, because we were going to go and rescue the chickens, remember? And
That's
didn't
right.
happen.
We were playing something when we were going to go rescue the chickens, though. Far out. It wasn't that long ago.
It was a massive weekend, though. Like,
Yeah.
It all just blurs together. Saturday was the day
Yeah.
of the weekend when we cooked up a big barbecue, had the boys around, played some games. But
Yeah.
Friday night was really cool.
Yeah, no, we forgot a ton of games, by the way. So we also played Battlefleet Gothic.
Oh, yeah.
And we also played Saga.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's what we did night one.
That was right.
Battlefleet Gothic.
Battlefleet Gothic, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking through my photos as me cracking a beer over the Battlefleet Gothic table.
And Saga was Friday day, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far out. How did we forget that?
So that's like, I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's like 14 games we played.
There's at least 7.
Yeah. So let's talk about them one by one as we played them. Battlefleet Gothic, which we have played before at Gameapalooza with Ollie.
The first Gameapalooza.
Yeah.
That was the game that Ollie. So every year, Ollie has basically built, painted, and learned a game.
And brought it to Gameapalooza.
And brought us to Gameapalooza. So
He drives from Adelaide.
Yeah, which is like 800 kilometers.
With what? At least 10 tubs
Oh, yeah.
of terrain and miniatures.
Yeah.
Basically hosting the weekend
Mhm.
from the studio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Teaches us the games, has all the stuff that we need.
Yeah.
Bears with us as we try to remember rules
Yeah.
of games we've only just learned.
Yeah. Yeah. We played a year ago.
So, Battlefleet Gothic, you know what's funny? last time I played it, I kind of went because we were about to set up for Billion Suns,
Yeah.
but none of us knew how to play, so we're kind of flicking through the rule book.
And it was way more complicated than we expected.
Yeah,
There was so much to it.
even Ollie was like, "This is too complicated to learn like right now."
Yeah,
And when Ollie says that,
yeah.
it's too complicated.
Let's
to
play
learn
an
right
easier game. Let's play Battlefleet Gothic.
now. Yeah. Or rather, let's play a game he already knew all the rules for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But last time we played Battlefleet Gothic, I just remember I was kind of like, yeah, that was all right. But this time I had a lot more fun.
Yeah. Do you think that was a familiarity with it? Like having played it before? Like you're not sort of questioning everything. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I vaguely remember how that works.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's a pretty intensive game.
Yeah.
And we're both more of a casual gamer now.
Definitely.
The beers with the homies is the game.
Yeah.
And then on the side, we want to be pushing some models around and blowing some things up and having some silly interactions.
Mm-hmm.
That is in essence how we game.
And all of that happened, right? There were
Yeah.
so many times where it was just like, let's just do this because this is cool. And the laughs and the cheers when a ship didn't explode but becomes a flaming like Hulk
Wreckage,
just
yeah.
drifting into more asteroids and
then you roll and it's like, what happened? Oh, the fire went out. Okay, so it's still a giant wreckage. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
still a city-sized ship just floating through space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I think just the fact that it was a 2v2 helped.
Yeah.
Because it also meant like, I mean, maybe more for me. I had Ollie, so Ollie knows all the rules.
Yeah.
And there were times where I'd just be chatting to Gritty.
Yeah.
And we'd sort of be chatting and drinking and whatever, and notice that you guys were just playing the game. And then
Yeah.
we'd jump back in, and then we'd start
Yeah.
playing, and you guys be chatting, and it was just that kind of cool vibe where it was like the amount of times where I kind of looked down and all my ships had already moved up and shot some things. And Ollie would be like, oh, which one do you want to shoot? And I'm like, oh, good question. Which one can I shoot? It was like, well, if you shoot 80 things, you could hit this, this, and this. I'm like, what about the laser you said 2 turns ago was on the front? He's like, I guess you could shoot with that. I'm shooting with that.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what that laser does. Okay, nothing? Cool.
Yep.
Back
Onto
to
the next guns.
Yeah.
That was it was really cool to be on the team with Gritty actually because I had someone to supplement for my bad rolls.
Yeah.
So our rolls were like average.
Yeah. He was rolling really well.
He
and
was.
You weren't.
Yeah.
And it was actually a great game because it was very back and forth.
Oh, wasn't it?
At the start, you guys had little ships that you could deploy, little bombers. And we
Yeah,
had no
yeah.
answer to it, so we were a bit worried.
Yep.
Then we had a few really good turns.
You took some carriers out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we were like, we kind of looked like we had almost our full fleet, but it had destroyed like maybe 20% of yours.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, cool. This is looking really good. You've got nothing on that side of the board. But then you guys hit us hard.
Yeah.
And then eventually it came down to like, you had your main ship
Yep.
left.
We had our cruiser or capital ship.
Yeah. And one other, I think. And we had our main ship, but ours was more beta. It was just a really close game.
Yeah.
It was kind of all you could hope for. It was casual enough because you just go, all right, what do I have? And then Ollie would be like, you've got these guns.
Yeah.
You can shoot this many dice.
Yep.
It's like having ChatGPT like in your ear, just telling you exactly what you got. Takes all the thinking out, which is nice.
It was kind of cool because like you could get to a point where I was like, okay, that gun is strength 6, which means I roll 6 dice.
Yeah.
I'm firing against this ship, which
Wait. Oh no, carry on. Sorry, I was like, was I on Critty's team?
no,
But
I was on Gritty's team.
Yeah. Carry on.
And then it was like, okay, so we go to this, like, there's the whole table thing and the columns and stuff.
Yeah.
But I got to a point where I was like, I'm over 15 centimeters, use centimeters.
Yeah.
I'm over 15 centimeters away. I guess it's 4 dice. And then I was like, yep, 4 dice.
Yeah.
I'm like, sick. Like, you sort of got to like know the pattern that was there with the weapons and the range and what you're shooting against. And like, it's cool because it's like whether they're coming towards you or away from you or like a beam, it's a very
mechanically deep game.
Yeah.
Because it matters which arc you're shooting into, which arc you're shooting out of, which guns you're using. You've got minimum move distances and rotations, so that there's that fleet side of the game where it's like, don't stray yourself into an asteroid field or
or another ship
or something like that. There's also like persistent, when things blow up, they kind of leave like these little, what do you call those things?
Blast tokens.
Blast tokens?
Yeah, blast markers or whatever.
And they kind of signal like active blasts happening, and then there's missiles that kind of carry on, like you shoot them off and they keep going. And yeah, they might not hit anything this turn, but I'm sure you could probably like put people in awkward positions.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's like if you keep going, you will get hit by the missile, so you have to turn and it kind of screens them out.
Or you have to like jump on your retros and like slow your movement.
Yeah.
To minimize your minimum movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try and
Which
miss
costs
those.
you one of your orders or
It's an order,
Yeah.
And the thing is too, like if you fail an order, that's it. You can't give any of your ships any more orders for the rest of that turn.
Yeah, so there's that tension with that. So yeah, it is. It's like it's one of those games where if you just wanted to play that game, it's got enough that you're going to be happy just playing that game.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
could easily be a main game because it just has all that depth in the rules, in all the different weapons that there are. Like you said, it's got one of those like almost 7th edition type charts.
Yeah.
But it uses centimeters, which is old school. So yeah, there's a lot to it. There's shields. The shields go down, but they come back up unless there's like base contact
With those blast
tokens.
tokens, yeah.
There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
but I think we played at the right ship count with the right people, and it was great.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I had a lot of fun with this one. This is a very different experience than
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I played it last time.
Yeah,
which is
so
cool.
last time it was kind of like, it was all right.
Last time I was like, I wouldn't probably choose to play this again.
Sure.
It was fun because,
Yeah.
it was the homies, but
Yeah.
it's just like, I'd play any game in that situation.
Yeah.
So, whereas this time I'm like, cool. If there's a chance to play it again, I would.
Well, then we moved on to Saga, right, at some point, which was the game of this Gameapalooza. This is the army that Ollie had painted up
Yeah.
and learned for this year.
Yeah, awesome.
So, how are your thoughts after playing that?
I loved it.
Yeah?
It was
You
my
didn't have
favorite game
that-
of the weekend.
Really?
Yeah. And it reminds me of, I think I like it as much as I like Chain of Command.
Sure.
I liked, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Chain of Command.
Yep.
Is it the same? It's not the same. It's not Ladi's, is it?
No.
Saga's by someone else.
Yeah.
Because, just the way you roll these dice at the start and then you allocate them based on what you get.
Yeah.
Just kind of reminded me of Chain of Command. Is
Sure.
that similar to Chain
Yeah,
of Command?
absolutely. Yeah. So you roll in the command dice and allocating the pip value.
Yeah, and the
kind of the
pip
same
value
thing.
can only be assigned to certain things.
Yep.
Which reminded me a little bit of Chain of Command. But I loved how, like, it's got this really cool, like, you got to print off, you roll for the Vikings, you've got Viking-esque symbols. And you can either choose to use those symbols to activate units, or you put them into abilities, either abilities that you later spend and activate, but you kind of like lock those dice. And there's a really cool dice tension there because it's like, well, if you lock too many, you'll actually have less dice to roll
Yeah.
next turn.
The next turn, yeah.
So, which means less units to activate or whatever.
Yep.
So there was free activations. I really liked how you could spend as much as you wanted into a unit. That was very Infinity-like.
Yep.
If you had 6 activations for a group of warriors, that means you could activate this unit of warriors 6 times.
Yep.
However, fatigue.
Yeah.
So every extra activation would generate a fatigue, and if you ever got enough fatigue, you became exhausted. Was that the thing?
Oh, I can't remember. I kind of sat out of Saga. I watched you guys play for the most part.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I jumped in when you had to bail at the end there.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning it all as you explain this to me right now.
Oh, all right, there you go. Yeah.
I was doing my own thing. I was tinkering.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. It was. Yeah. I wish I had have been more aware of that because I would have told you.
No.
We need to play that game again.
Yeah. No doubt.
And you know what? Great opportunity to use Medbury miniatures
Right.
and Vikings.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
the 28 mil Vikings, the two
Yep.
things we want to do. So yeah, I think we need to play that game.
Sure.
One of the quickest, like Chain of Command, where the rules seem like if you have someone explain them to you, they flow really well and they
Yeah.
make sense. And although they might be complicated or clunky written down, when you play them, they just make sense.
Yeah. Everything's sort of intuitive, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt that for this game. I felt like I understood it after 2 turns. You know when games just click with you?
Yeah.
This was one of those games for me. I loved it.
Nice.
Can't say enough good things about it.
Nice.
Fun too. I mean, I had to leave actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to leave, so I didn't even get to see the outcome. But
I feel like I'm trying to remember when that was. Must have been Friday afternoon.
it
right?
was
because then
Yep,
we
I had
came
to
back.
go pick up the kids from daycare.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we came back and we did our D&D session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did. Tell us about the D&D. Tell
Oh
us about
man, D&D.
set the scene and tell us about your character as well.
So to start the scene, I suppose you printed years ago now, well, way back in the Trug studio, the Toasty Tavern,
yeah.
the Falcon's
Falcon's
Arms,
Arms,
this massive print by Infinite Dimensions.
Correct.
Yeah. I can't remember what they actually call it, but
I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different pieces.
Sure. Yeah, that's
17
right.
different pieces.
Because there's 3 floors,
Yeah.
including the roof, and each floor is in multiple pieces.
Yeah.
And so last year at Gameapalooza, I had it and I showed Ollie, and I'm like, "Do you want it? Because I'm never going to get around to painting
Yeah,
it."
I printed it and I was like, I'm never going to paint this. And
Here
you were
go,
like,
Shane.
you were like, I like it. I was like, here you go.
Yeah.
So then you had it and you're
And
like,
then I'm
I'm
like-
never going to paint this.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ollie actually painted it, and he did an incredible job. He put posters on the inside. He resin printed some candles, put candles all around the walls.
There's like beds and stuff in there
Yeah,
too.
there's furniture inside.
Yeah.
There's food on the table. There's all kinds of details there that you just, the more and more you look at it, the more and more you see. It's one of
Yeah.
those things, right? You could look at it 10 times, and each time you see
find
something new.
It's really cool. It's
We-
a really cool piece.
There was something that was really cool to me. It was like when he was talking, I was on Discord with him one night, and he was talking. He'd nearly finished it, I believe, and he was talking about putting posters on the walls.
Yeah.
And like, so he's got like the classic, like the dogs playing poker, and like
yeah.
just like posters like that. And I'm like, there's this one that I remember as a kid, my dad had on the wall, and it was a Carlton old school Carlton draft one, right?
Yeah.
And it's this bloke standing at the bar, and the whole thing is like, I always have one at 11, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And I'm like, that's a cool poster. And then I saw that he'd used that and put it on one of the walls.
Ah, that's
And I'm
cool.
like, that's sick. That reminds me of being a child
Yeah.
and
With an alcoholic
admiring beer.
father. So cool. It's Australian. That's a memory we all share,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. But yeah, so that was the center stage of the RPG session. We're in a town, and then there was like us 3, Gritty and Rory, and it was a really cool session.
Was Jimmy there?
No, he was not there. He was there for the next day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I blur it all together. So Ollie DM'd the campaign and the rest of us participated.
Yeah.
Who was your character?
I was a dragonborn
That's right.
named Sharak.
Shirak.
So
I believe it's pronounced Shirak. I mean,
sure.
you named it, but I know the pronunciation because I am.
I didn't name
Dragonborn.
it. Ollie named it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was a really cool website he used called Fast Characters.
Yeah, like pre-made ones, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
You click a few things, and boom, it prints out a character, which was
Yeah.
useful.
Yes,
'Cause
it
we
was
died.
useful. Yes, we did die.
Yeah, Churchy, who was your character?
I was a drow wizard or something.
A drow.
A drow warlock.
What's a drow?
What's a drow?
Dark elf. Like
Mm.
from the Underdark or whatever.
Yeah.
So you had spells and stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
kept doing Eldritch Blast.
That's
with my
right.
war
Yeah.
powers.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch
And then I was
Blast.
hexing
Eldritch
enemies,
Blast.
and then I died. And then I was the druid, like
Ah, yes.
That's
the
right.
the
centipede.
stout halfling.
Yeah.
And I turn into a centipede.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we were all drinking in the tavern and heard a noise outside and
Yep.
stumbled out to find the undead.
Yes, the undead had invaded town. That was really cool, especially for Gritty and Rory being their first like in-person RPG.
Yeah.
It,
Ever.
it was interesting because we used minis on the whole table was set up beautifully as Ollie's tables always are.
Yeah.
But that was kind of new for us too, right? Because like we've done
Definitely.
a couple now.
Yep.
But it's all been theater in the mind, so it was interesting having the minis there.
Yeah.
I think personally, I mean, I love seeing the table, but I think theater of the mind does a bit more.
Yeah.
Leaves more to the imagination.
Yeah.
So I think maybe next time that would be kind of cool. But it really was awesome seeing the tavern in all its glory.
Do you know if people like when we've done RPGs like at PAX where we did Seventh Extinction?
Yeah. Yep.
Or when we played Alien RPG, the three of us outside of
Now you
Churchy's-
say played.
yeah, we tried to play.
Loosely played.
Loosely played.
Yep.
You know, that was all theater of the mind where you
Yeah.
have your character sheets and all things like that. But I know that like obviously the whole miniature thing for D&D is massive
Yeah.
because there's miniature ranges and all that kind of stuff.
I think there's two things. So some people use miniatures for combat.
Sure.
because it's easier to know how far away you are and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But people might also like to paint their miniatures to, I guess, visually have their character. Like
Sure.
it's like they can, even though they don't use it in the game, but like you've got it. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's just channeling your vibe. I guess.
Yeah.
Even though you have him there while you're playing.
I wonder if they do that. I bet there's like obviously people play this RPGs all different ways.
Yeah.
It's people that do purely theater of the mind, people
Yeah.
that do purely tabletop battles, RPG hybrids.
Mm.
But there's probably a large group that do like meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Where it's like, say we're in that tavern, we put all the miniatures there to represent that's where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And keep track of that. And then it's theater of the mind for an hour or so.
Yep.
But then maybe someone goes outside, so you just place their miniature outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
All theater of the mind type stuff. And then maybe they move around like that. And then when there is a battle, positioning matters because they do a lot of, it's mostly hex based as well. Gridded.
Sure.
When
yeah.
I see RPG maps online.
Yep.
And I guess that's because it's like the 5 feet, 10 feet, 15 feet.
Yeah, like every grid is 5 feet or something.
Yeah, or
maybe.
something like that.
Yeah.
And that helps the actual battle itself.
Yeah.
But maybe those are more designed for people that just do like, kind of like parsecs, right?
Yeah.
Where you have your campaign turn, that's all theater of the mind, writing stuff down in character sheets, and then it results in the tabletop battle.
Yeah.
And you go do that.
See, I love that. If
Yeah, that's cool.
If I had, you could pick one, it would be that. It would be like,
Yeah.
Okay, you can just use minis to represent what you're doing. It doesn't matter how far you move this turn or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's like now I'm outside, now I'm back inside. Like I don't have to measure.
Yeah.
You
Now I'm
know,
over at this house.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at the lake.
Because out of combat, time that isn't as important.
Yeah.
Like, but in combat, every turn is meant to indicate like 6 seconds or something like that. It's something ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
it's like 0 time.
Yeah.
So, and that's important because if you've got, orcs charging at you or whatever, like you can't just like, I'm over here, I'm over there. Like it's
Yeah.
sort of quite.
Fight this orc and then this one 50 yards away. It's not Lord of the Rings. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm.
That's probably how I would play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely liked my first character.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a monk,
Yeah.
a stealthy monk that did all hand fighting and used ki.
Oh,
That was
Kia.
yeah. Kia.
Yeah.
And that was like my main resource was like I could spend that to increase my chance of dodging the next attack
Yeah.
or use it to do extra melee combat. That was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, they came to a demise
Sure.
at the hands of,
Undead.
no, maybe it was the orbs of light.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because I was worried about dying, and then I came out charged.
I think the zombies messed you up.
They did, yeah.
And then the orbs of light electrocuted you to death.
Yeah. Hey, were the orbs of light after the vampire bat?
No.
Oh. Are you sure?
I can't remember now.
I thought we fought.
Maybe.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
No, I don't think so because I'm pretty sure we went back inside. So we fought some undead.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because Rory was on the roof like the whole time. And then...
Yeah, but Rory was on the. That doesn't matter which order things happened on. He was on the roof the whole time. I thought he only jumped off to fight the orbs of light,
He did,
but he was still alive to fight everything else.
but he didn't die. He got saved.
Ah, yes,
He
you're
didn't
right.
die.
No, you're right. Yeah.
He actually despite
Somehow-
everything Rory did, he actually didn't die.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because Rory's character jumped up on the roof to get a better vantage point.
Yeah.
But then on his first opportunity to like shoot an arrow, he played his flute instead to see if that did anything.
No, he shot an arrow blindly into the woods.
Oh yeah, and it just like landed in the
Just
grass.
hit a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, next time I'd play my flute. I was like, all right, you play your flute. Who wants to go next? And then eventually he was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything on the roof.
Yeah.
So he jumped off and
Break his neck.
broke his legs and just laid there incapacitated. But
Yeah.
one of us got him up or somehow he stabilized himself and survived
I think he rolled some successful saves and then
Yeah.
stabilized himself.
just long enough to get up and get knocked out again.
Yeah.
I get back down. I get up again. That's his theme song.
That's
for
it. Yeah.
that RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so eventually we beat everything in the town. We beat everything off.
Dewey did.
And we heard that all the source of the undead and the balls of light and everything was coming up from the church.
Yep, the church on the hill.
The church on the hill. So
There's
we went up.
always a church on the hill.
Yeah, and it's always where the spooky guy is, the
Yeah.
demon.
Yep.
So we got there and found a demon lord of sorts.
Yeah, some vampiric lord.
And we were all ready to, I don't know what happened because I was on board with this idea. We met him and he was like, the mayor of the town basically
Yep.
owes me this town.
Yeah.
But wouldn't give it back to me. So I'm sending my minions.
Yeah.
And we're all like, well, that seems like a him problem.
I mean, yeah, he owes you.
I mean, we were ready to take this guy at face value.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Someone did something. Rory.
Rory was gone by this stage.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I thought Rory shot at him and then left.
No, Rory shot at the manticore on the roof and then left.
That's right.
I played into my character who was lawful good,
That's right.
who
You
upholds
did
the
it.
laws of the land,
I need
does
a
what
drink
is
'cause
right.
I'm not over this yet.
And I was like, yes, although my character was in debt to some guy who also owes you the town, I need to be the bigger dragonborn and do what is right.
I was like, oh man, here he goes again. Always
Yeah,
talking
I
about
picked the
law.
wrong time to roleplay, all right?
Yeah.
I should have just said, you know what, bugger it, let's go.
Yeah, well, if you've got it in writing, then
He
you're
didn't
right.
have it in writing.
Yeah, okay.
That's the problem.
So then we had to fight the demon prince, essentially.
Yeah.
And
What was he? Wasn't he a vampire bat? Was something different?
yeah,
He was a demon, or he had some demonic powers or something.
Ollie threw a lot at us, and we
Yep.
died because of it.
Mm.
But eventually, we somehow killed the demon lord.
We did.
Now, Church never turned into a badger, which I was sad about.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
Or a platypus.
Could he have turned into a platypus?
I'm sure he could have.
I
think
feel
there
like
was a bunch of things I could have turned into.
Yeah.
Like, centipede sounded fun.
He picked
Yeah.
a centipede. I think the whole game you were trying to crawl up his butt.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
And then you
Did
were
it work?
going to turn back into it.
nah, but I did it at the end after he was dead.
when he couldn't resist. Well,
Yeah.
that's a success then.
That's funny.
I was trying to do an Ant-Man on him. Crawl up and then
Yeah,
Go
you
inside
did
him.
at the end
Yeah,
after
after he was dead.
Yeah,
After he was dead.
And you were like, guys, I did it. And we were all like, oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
That's
It would have been
great.
cool when he was alive. Now it's just
You
weird.
didn't actually, you kind of just crawled around for a lot. We really could have used you and your giant badger, but thanks, dude.
I think because they're obviously quick characters for like a one shot. Had Churchy have, really like leveled up a druid,
Yeah,
he would have been something way cooler than a badger.
Yeah, like a bear or something.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
or like a wolf.
Yeah, or like a useful character.
Yeah, like a
I mean,
Giraffe.
I think I might have been able to turn into a wolf. Well, actually, maybe that
oh man!
Oh, come on,
Picked
man. You're a
centipede?
centipede.
actually, I don't know. That might have been. Maybe that was like there was like a challenge rating thing or something of what
Yeah.
I could turn into. And I think
Sure.
maybe the wolf and the bear and that were like higher up than we were. Like,
Everyone knows,
I
dude.
couldn't do
Wolves
it,
for DPS and bears for tanking,
Truth.
and trees are for healing.
I didn't know that about trees. I thought trees were for for shade.
No, restoration.
Makes sense.
Yep.
So we played that. That was a good time. The next day we played some boardies, and the main game that we played was yours,
Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunderdome. But if you want to hear more about Beyond Thunderdome, tune in next week where we talk all about Beyond Thunderdome, which is
Yeah.
a game Shane made just for Gameapalooza.
I didn't rip off nothing.
Nah, it's
What do you mean? What, you want to fight about it?
Well, they didn't say anything, dude. Why
Oh,
are you picking
okay.
fights with the audience again, dude?
Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, it's not your fault. Hey, unrelated to that, I love that we've got the Halo 2 case behind us
Yeah,
because Halo is one of my favorite video games of all time.
me too, man.
Yeah,
That's why we work.
yeah, that is why we work. Anyway, enough about Halo.
Yep.
And Beyond Thunderdome,
Mm.
which is definitely not a rip-off from any other games.
You want to fight about it?
No, I'm not going to fight about it, dude. Why are you trying to fight me all the time? Yes, you will hear more about that next week. I want to hear about your process in creating a game just for a weekend.
Yeah.
And now it's become something more. You shared a little. Anyways, tune in next week to hear more about that.
Yep.
Thank you to all of you listening. If you're in Australia, make sure, or keen to travel into seas, into seas.
You can get into the seas and then out of seas again.
Make sure you jump in the Discord and stay and chat with us because next year we're hoping to do something bigger, betterer, at an actual center. So,
Yep.
But we'll talk more about that.
We'll have something coming. soon, I think.
Soon, TM.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll aim for something next year. If that interests you, want to meet up and play these weird and wacky games with a bunch of weird and wacky humans.
Yep.
No better place.
We are your guys.
We are your guys. We are they.
Massive shout out to Moose, actually, for absolutely abusing our PO box and sending us some really awesome stuff.
Absolutely.
He sent you some custom Fox RPG dice.
I've got them behind me. They're right here.
Right there.
I don't know if you can see them.
Sent me some really cool Genestealer Cults themed, Tyranid themed D6s.
Yeah. He also sent us all this stuff right here.
Pretty much everything on the
This
bit.
sign that says it's always 50-50.
It is.
This thing that says, oh, for fuck's sake, and pew pew, motherfuckers. YouTube don't demonetize us. I said mada.
Yeah, mada. Fuckers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wore some little booties over the weekend, some knitted booties.
Yep.
Those were from Moose as well. So.
And he also sent us some actual junk. Like
Max had
cups.
a new chew toy, which was
A wooden spoon.
Yep. So, yeah, thank
Thanks,
you,
Moose.
Moose. You're an absolute legend. That was all of your stuff to open has just brought big smiles upon our faces.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do because we're dead inside. So thank you.
If you two want to send us some cool stuff or uncool stuff, you take the pick. PO Box 43.
Who's Uncle Stuff?
Uncle Stuff.
Who's Uncle
Uncool
Stuff?
stuff.
It's like I don't know if you could fit Uncle Stuff in a PO box.
You
but-
can if you try.
Yeah.
PO Box 43, Lara, Victoria 3212. And a
That's
massive
PO Box 43,
43,
Lara 3212.
Lara, Victoria.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say,
Australia.
Chief. Link in the description.
3212.
Yeah.
Is not a link in the description?
Description in the description. There's a description of the PO box in the description.
There is.
And thank you to our patrons who send us money as opposed to gifts, which money is like a gift, but better because we can use it to pay people who give us the gift of a podcast.
Like Churchy.
I wasn't naming names, dude. I meant our team. We can pay our team.
Our team, yes.
Our production
Our
team.
staff.
Yeah. Yeah, we have staff. But for legal reasons, we don't.
We do
And
not.
We don't pay tax.
We don't pay anyone for legal reasons.
Yeah, we donate. That's irrelevant. Anyways, thank you to our patrons.
You want to fight about it?
Yeah. Don't fight them. Fight the other ones. Yeah. We got some homies. They give us money. We got some main homies. They give us even more money.
And we've got a couple of new homies too, Nathan Smith and Chompers.
Yeah.
And legendaries, MJ Moose, Fat Boy Tom, Numa, the real one, Goats, Burnsy Farmer, Dinosaur, Hockers, Gridlock, Journeyman, and Matty Matt.
We got the OGs, Souls, AU Warrior, Churchy, the man himself, Rad Rooster, Ollie, Pinny, Don Hua Don, Pure Blind, Jackson V, Mini Walmart, Oz Wargaming, Analog Line, Tibbs Smith, and
Big
Roach. Thank you all so much. Hopefully we see you at the next Gameapalooza, which will now be called HomieCon.
HomieCon. Officially from HomieCon from now on.
And we'll see you next week where we talk about Shane's game, Beyond Thunderdome.
Beyond Thunder.
Halo Edition. I mean, sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Of course you were.
See you next week.
Hey, Roo.
Woo! Big up to the boys, Fox and Shane. Set your minds free, no locks and chains. Do what you love, roll the dice. 50-50, we cold as ice. One thing cold, but opinion turn red. Can't let that shit in my head, war gaming.